Good afternoon, David.
Hello, Thomas. Loving the look today.
You like that? It's my new gambling. It's my my gambling persona.
Yeah, you were up late last night. Is that what this is about?
Yeah. Yeah. We're just concealing a little sty in the eye.
All right. Well, hopefully that sty brings you some good luck today.
Yeah, I know. I mean, if the picks do well tonight, you might see the shades reappear on tomorrow's pod.
I would love that. All right.
Big slate tonight.
Big slate. Small slate last night.
Yeah.
But really good game. That Dallas
That was a great
Golden
game.
State game.
If you're a Knicks fan, it was a good game.
Hmm. Yeah,
I think that was their highest scoring output of the year.
Yeah, that was Randall went off.
Yeah.
Brunson, who I picked, was pacing really well for the 22.5 points, but then he got in foul trouble, and then by the time they were about to put him back in, the game was out of hand. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to a big slate tonight. We got 13 games, and we're gonna cover the 6 that we like the most.
Yes, and that have the most props out at this hour.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. All right, so you want to dive into it?
Let's jump right in.
All right, so we got the first game. We got Philly at Cleveland. Philly is 12-9. Cleveland is 13-8. Philly is still without Harden and Maxey, and Cleveland is without Allen and Love. Cleveland is -3.5 on the game, and the total is a whopping 209.5. So we got one of the lowest totals of the season, and then we'll finish off today with one of the highest totals of the season too.
Is that Pacers Kings?
Yeah, don't get ahead of yourself.
You got me excited now. I couldn't.
I know.
Couldn't wait.
You got all your action on that one. So
I love that one.
We're just gonna have to trudge through these next 5 to get to that one.
All right.
But yeah, sharps were on the under, even though it's 209.5. So
Interesting.
So this is definitely a proceed with caution game if you like going for overs, because there's not going to be a whole lot of scoring. But what do you like here?
So I'm going to go with Donovan Mitchell to score over 25.5 points. Having said all that, So Philly is actually dead last in the league this season in scoring around the rim. Now, that's not Mitchell's entire game, but it's a good portion of it. I mean, he's either shooting from 3 or he's kind of driving to the basket and scoring that way. If you look at they're on 1-day rest today. He's cleared 25.5 points in 8 of 9 games this season on 1-day rest. So pretty nice right there. He's also done it in his last 4 or 5 and 7 of 10. So I like that. Someone's got to score. He seems to get there all the time. He was a little bit of a lull there, but trending upwards, 7 of 10, 4 of 5. We're going to go with Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, I read some stat. I haven't had a chance to dive into it earlier, but something about Garland and his production at home versus production on the road.
Really?
So I'm going to dig into that one a little bit more, because I think Garland could be the points leader for today's game over Mitchell even.
So I like it. Usually I'm into those home away splits. I didn't.
You got it there?
I didn't. Yeah, I'm looking right now. Let's see.
Does he have a?
Oh, wow. So if you look at points, his line's 23.5. He's done it in his last 5 games at home, and he's done it in 0 of his last 5 games on the road.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. That's pretty crazy.
So Garland might be a good play if you're looking for an offensive over as well.
Wow. He's done. Wow. He's every home game this season, he's cleared that line.
Right. And every road game he hasn't, right?
Every one. He Lakers on the road. He cleared, and he had 24. He just cleared it.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm on it.
Yeah. Pretty cool, right?
So I'm changing my play right now.
Yeah, you change
live
it
on air.
You going to Garland?
I am.
All right, I like that better actually.
Yeah, I love that. I like that. Very nice. Good find, Dave.
Yeah. I read about that one. I didn't have a chance to verify it yet. So
Yeah.
live on the air, verification done.
Nice. All right.
And then anybody on the Philly side you like?
So I got one. This is kind of random and weird. So I did want to bet on, unfortunately, Maxi's not playing because Cleveland's actually pretty bad at defending corner threes, and Philly's top 7. And Maxi is like taking a disproportionate number of his 3-point attempts from there, but whatever, he's not playing, so we'll move on. But Shake Milton is getting extra run because Maxi's not playing. Now, I'm not going to take Shake Milton on corner threes, but what I am going to take him on is to get a steal. So looking at turnovers, Cleveland on offense is bottom 3rd in the league, allowing turnovers, and Philly's defense is actually top 7. So you have a nice little discrepancy there. Shake Milton to get 1 steal, I believe. I was actually just looking at this one right as we were about to go live. He's had he started off the season with not a bunch, but in his last 3 games, he had 2 1-and-1. So trending in the right direction. And all 3 of those games were also on the road. So sometimes guys get up, like we just saw with Garland. So that's my play. Shake Milton to have a steal. It's minus 160, but it is what it is.
Nice. All right. Yeah, I really wanted to find somebody to fade in this game. I don't know why, but on the Philly side. So
Tobias Harris.
Yeah, Embiid 30.5, Harris 17.5, Melton 12.5, and Shake Milton at 16.5. And you like Harris to fade out of all those?
I like Harris just because one, he always lets me down. But I'm just looking at him. He's been playing really well actually.
Yeah.
He's cleared his line in the last 8 of 10 games and cleared it by quite a bit. 17.5. He's had 24, 25, 23, 24. So maybe that's not the play.
Not fade worthy. I'm going. This is scary, but I'm going to fade Embiid. 30.5, just because he's the top point scorer. This is a 209-point game.
Mm-hmm.
He's crossed 30.5 in 4 of his last 5.
Wow.
And he got 30 in the one that he missed. So it's really a terrible play. But
do you want to hear his point output against Cleveland last year?
What?
40, 35, and 44.
All right, that play is canceled.
And those were late in the season too, when they had Mobley and Allen. So 2 of them were late in the season. So I don't know.
We're really struggling to come up with something in this game.
But Cleveland's a team to fade guys against, just like we said with Dallas last night.
Yeah.
And that turned out to be correct. So
all right, let's move on.
Yes.
Next game, 7 p.m. as well. We got Atlanta, 11-10 at Orlando, 5-16.
Mm-hmm.
Orlando's getting 6 points in this game, and the Sharps are on Orlando. And the total is 228, and the Sharps are on the over. Atlanta pretty much has everybody. Orlando's missing Carter and Okiki.
I heard Markelle Fultz is making his season debut tonight.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
And Suggs is out, too.
Yeah.
There is a storyline in this game, which we missed last time these 2 teams played earlier in the season.
There's a storyline.
Two players in the preseason were going after each other a bit.
Oh, I missed that. What is it?
Bencaro and Murray.
Okay. Oh,
you remember that little?
No, I do not.
They had like a little spat in like one of those games, pro-am games or whatever they call them. And then there was like a bit of a Twitter war between the 2 of them. So.
Oh, I missed that. All right.
So. We'll see. My 2 plays were involving those 2 guys. So
yeah, I got one on one of them.
All right, go for it.
Mine's a sneaky one. I for some reason I think maybe you might be on this too. It seems to fit our mold over the past few days. Banchero assists.
Yep, that was my play.
I love it.
Nice.
Love
10
it.
out
Last
of 14
4 or 5,
games,
last
right?
8 of 10, last 6 of 7 home games. Yeah, the guy's crushing. Nice low line like we like. Hard to argue with right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think with all these guys out of the lineup too, I think he's having to play
Take on some more
roles.
playmaking. Yeah.
Fultz coming back may not be great for that, but
It's
I still
Markelle
like
Fultz.
it. He's up in the 4 or 5 assist
Yes.
range the last couple of games. So
Yeah.
that was my play on the Orlando side. And
Nice.
then, what do you got on
I got
Atlanta?
that was my only play from this game.
Okay, I liked a big one here. Murray triple double. Plus 1,800, so really
Yeah.
big. He hasn't really been doing it this year. I don't even think he has one
His
yet.
assists are down,
Yeah,
especially recently, right?
but I think this battle between him and Ben Caro was really in his mind and not in Ben Caro's mind. So I think
Okay.
he seems like a very spiteful kind of player.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to come back and still want to go after Orlando to prove a point or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But in their previous matchup earlier this season, he had 29-9.
Ooh.
So he was pretty close. It was the closest game he's gotten to a triple double. So I think throwing a little something on him too.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, he's last season. I don't know how many he had, but he definitely had a few last season. So yeah, dynamics a little bit different with having Trae Young there, but he's going to get a couple this season. It's a good spot for him. I like that.
Okay, we'll go with Murray triple double. And for what it's worth, I think Orlando actually has a shot at winning this game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I just have a feeling. I don't know.
interesting.
They seem to play better at home, so we'll see how they
Okay,
do.
Orlando money line. It is.
All right, next game, 7:30. We got Washington at Brooklyn. Washington's 11-10. Rui Hachimura is out, and then Brooklyn's 11-11. Ben Simmons is out. Brooklyn minus 5.5 in the game. Sharps were all over Brooklyn, and 229.5 they were on the over. So this is gonna be a high scoring game.
Mm-hmm.
What's standing out to you here?
All right. What stood out the most is Brooklyn and rebounding. So Brooklyn's dead last in offensive rebounding and defensive rebounding in the entire league. So I wanted to find somebody on the Washington side who I thought could get there. And I found, I'm going to throw in some support to all my Jewish friends. The only Jewish player in the NBA, Denny Avdia, 5.5 rebounds.
Wow.
He's done in his last 4 of 5, last 7 of 10, and his last 4 of 6 on the road. And in those 4 games, he had 9, 9, 10, and 8. 2 games against Brooklyn last year, he had 7 and 8. So it's a pretty low number. He's been getting there. That's my play, man.
And what kind of minutes is he getting?
Let's see, I have it right here. So last 5 games, 31, 41, 31, 27, and the last game against Minnesota was 19, but that game was a blowout. So I don't know. I didn't do much digging, but he had even in 19 minutes, he had 6 rebounds in that game.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I was on the same train of thought. I was looking at rebounds. I started with Porzingis, but I was a little afraid that his line was a bit too high.
Yeah, I looked at him too.
I ultimately settled on Kuzma.
Okay.
7.5 rebounds.
Yep.
7. He's hit that in 7 out of 9 games. If you could find it at 7, I think that's even better because he tends to cross that 7 mark almost all the games of late. But I like your play even better. So
yeah, and I mean, 2 of those games, he had 9. They played Miami back to back. He had 9 rebounds in both of those games against Miami. Now he's playing Brooklyn.
This is Denny.
Yeah, Denny.
All right. I also liked on the offensive side. I like Porzingis threes as well. The line was low, 2 threes. He's hit that in 6 out of the last 9 games, and in the previous game, he hit 6 threes on 10 attempts. So I kind of have this mentality that when guys come off of big games of hitting threes, they think they can do it every game, and And I think he's going to go for it again tonight, especially against Brooklyn, which, in addition to being a poor rebounding team, is one of the worst teams in defending the three. So, so those are my two plays.
All right, I got one on the Brooklyn side. So another matchup I noticed that I wanted to take advantage of is Brooklyn is number 6 in the league in mid-range shot attempts, and Washington is almost dead last, number 27, but they're pretty close to last in mid-range shot attempts allowed. Whose game is that? Kevin Durant, 60% of his shots are from mid-range. He's shooting 57% from mid-range this season. His last 3 games, 45, 31, 36. His line tonight's 29.5. I'm going to take Durant.
Yeah, I liked him as
also,
well.
That's I didn't do some digging, but that's also his hometown. So I don't know how he's fared over the years in Washington, and since he's been in the league so long, I don't put as much stock into that. It's more for younger guys. But yeah, that's
yeah. The Nets really crushed Washington in their prior matchup earlier this season. So
yeah,
and that was at Washington. So so I see. And Durant had a big game there, so I do see him having another big game here.
For sure, yeah.
Okay. All right,
Moving
what do we
right
got
along.
next? We got 7:30, Milwaukee at New York Knicks. Milwaukee's 14-5, still playing without Middleton. And the Knicks are 10-11. Knicks are getting 6 points, and the total sharps are on the Knicks, and the total is 228. Sharps are on the over, so a lot of overs.
Sharps are on the Knicks, huh?
Yeah,
on a back-to-back, and Milwaukee's on 2 days rest. I don't know.
I don't really get it either. These two teams did play earlier this season. I don't have the result, but it wasn't good.
It wasn't good for the Knicks.
So,
No.
So yeah, I would be cautious about playing the Knicks here.
Yep, I have 3 plays in this game. They're all on the Milwaukee side.
All right, go.
All right. So I want to take advantage of rebounding here. Milwaukee is number 7 in offensive rebounding, number 1 in defensive rebounding, and the Knicks are number 27. So nice discrepancy there. Looking for another low line, I found Javon Carter, 2.5 rebounds. He's done in his last 8 of 10, last 4 of 5. He's played 2 games on 2 days rest this season. He's done it in both of those games. And the 2 previous times he played the Knicks, he also cleared that line. So a lot of historical evidence there. Nice and low. He gets the minutes even with Holiday back. Yeah, I thought you'd like that one. Yeah,
I love those like 2 or 3 rebound plays because you can cash those like your play from yesterday by halftime. Those are awesome.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Then the other matchup I liked was 3 points. So Milwaukee's number 7 in 3-point attempts taken per game, and the Knicks are number 28th in 3-point attempts allowed. Brook Lopez, it's 1.5. I know this is something you've been on. Oh, and I see you're on it again today.
Yeah.
He's done it in his last 5 games, last 8 of 10, and he's also done it in 5 of 6 road games this season. So I like that as well.
Yeah, the only caution I saw was I think he had 0 the last time he played the Knicks.
I did see that, yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, it's a more recent trend. He's been bombing away. So I like it.
Yeah, the other one, I also like Giannis to have a 3 tonight.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, for some reason, he's only played in 4 road games this entire season, but he's done it in 3 of 4 road games, and he plays well against the Knicks. I think going back a couple of years, I think it was when like Marcus Morris was on the Knicks or whatever, but I feel like he has this thing with the Knicks. He's done it. He's had a 3 in 4 of his last 5 games against the Knicks. So I like him to put one up tonight. He always has a couple attempts a game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's streaky, but but 1-3 is pretty easy to cash.
Yeah.
And like you said, the Knicks just play fast tempo, give up a ton of shots. So, all right. What's the next game? We got the 9 p.m. game. We got Houston at Denver.
Yep.
Houston's 5-15. Denver is 13-7. Denver's minus 11.5 in the game, and the total is 230.5. Sharps are on Houston and the under. Also a surprise since these two teams just played 2 days ago, and Denver won 129-113, I believe, was the final score.
Yes. So I don't know if your head's in the same place as it was the other day.
Run it back.
Yep, Jalen Green. It's up though. Went up one assist. Went from 3.5 to 4.5, but I still feel very comfortable at that line, and gonna run it back for sure.
Yeah, even more comfortable than, because I think the two games, the game prior to when we first recognized this, he had put up 9, and then last game he put up 7. So he's only improving in this metric.
Yep.
So this is probably the last game you'll get it below 5.
Yeah.
If he hits this tonight, then he's going to move up to 5.5, and then it's probably a hard pass.
It might pay to get an adjusted line on him tonight.
Yeah,
5.5, 6.5, something like that. We should think about that. Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
Again, you just got to make sure there's no massive blowout.
Yeah.
Houston, I think, started up in the previous game. So we'll see how Denver comes out of the gate. They might come out a little stronger.
You got anything on the Denver side?
No, I'm tempted to play another triple-double play on Jokic. Last game he had 32, 12, and 8.
Okay.
So I think it's still good value at plus 275.
Yeah.
But
I had that 20 and 10 parlay for him the other night, and so that cashed. But I actually I'm on. It's my first time I'm on him this season. I think he's finally there. Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
19.5 points. He's done in his last 4 or 5. He had 31 in the game against Houston 2 days ago. I think if you look at the trend, I mean, I think he's just starting to round into form, playing a team he just played and had success with against the other day. I think he gets there again. What
was the line?
19.5.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
It does sound good. And I think he's rounding into form for sure. I also noticed that he's had a block in each of his last 3 home games. And Houston's number 28 in blocks allowed. They're allowing 7 blocks a game.
Okay.
And it's plus 200 for Murray to have a block tonight. Thought that was a nice little prop there.
What about his? I like the block, obviously. Plus 200 is nice.
Yeah.
What about his threes? I think there's good value in the threes as well. Maybe even instead of the points, he's got his line is over 2.5 threes.
Yeah.
He had 4 in the previous game against Houston.
I didn't look too hard into the threes, but
his last 2 games he's put up 9 and 8 attempts. So, and with Porter Jr. out, that's probably 8-9 attempts that are freeing up for him too. So.
Yeah. The reason I did look at it, the reason I didn't is on 1 day rest, he's 1 of 9 this season. So that was the red flag that kept me off that I just remembered. Yeah.
On threes?
On threes, yeah.
All right.
So.
All right. Anybody else in this game?
Nope, that's it for this game.
All right. Before we move to the final game, it is worth noting that today is Grant Williams' birthday.
Oh.
So the Celtics are playing as well. Who are they playing? They're playing the Heat. I think the Heat have like half a roster. So,
oh, dude, that's not bad for the Heat. The Heat, you can Grant Williams threes is definitely a play tonight then, because the Heat allow a ton of threes, and that's Grant Williams' game.
Let's see what that line is set at. No, I don't see it out yet, but
okay.
But yeah, something to keep an eye on.
for sure.
I like
that.
Probably something
especially
big.
Sorry to cut you off. Didn't he had like a bunch of in the Eastern Conference Finals against Miami last year, right? Then he had like some huge games.
Yeah,
3 against Miami.
Let's take a look at it. Yeah, so against Miami, He had not
No,
not
was it the
not
maybe
against
it was
Miami.
the previous, it was against Milwaukee, the previous series. Maybe he had some of those big
Against
games?
Milwaukee. He had one game with 6 and one game
Okay,
with 7.
that's what I was thinking of.
Miami, he hit like 1 or 2
Okay,
in most games, but again, none of those games were his birthday. We saw
That's
what
true.
Julius did last night. So
that's right. Crushed on his birthday.
and so I would definitely play something on Grant Williams tonight.
Yes.
All right, final game.
The moment we've all been waiting for.
The moment you've been waiting for. 10 p.m. game, Indiana Pacers 12-8 going up against the Sacramento Kings 10-9. Sacramento's minus 4.5. The Sharps are on Indiana, who is actually a little bit hotter than Sacramento of late.
Yeah.
And the total is 242.5.
Wow.
And the Sharps are on the over. So there's going to be
Wow.
a massive amount of scoring in this game. So what's the big storyline here?
The massive trade from last season, Tyrese Halliburton and Buddy Hield to the Pacers for Domantas Sabonis. I love playing guys on the revenge game when they're coming back to the town that traded them. So that would lead me to Buddy and Halliburton a little bit more so than Sabonis tonight. And I think I was able to find some nice stuff on both of them. So they played once last season after the trade. In that game, Buddy Hield had 25 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists. He made 5 threes. He had 1 block and 4 steals in that game. So I like Buddy to have a steal tonight. He's done it in his last 7 of 8 games, and the one game he didn't have it was the previous game. And he had 2+ steals in 4 of those 7 games. So I actually like him. His line's, a 1 steal, but I think I'd like the adjusted line tonight on 2 to get plus money on it. I couldn't find it in the book, but it'll be out later, I'm sure. So yeah, I love that. Coming back to Sacramento, where he played all those seasons, for him to stick it to them. His buddy De'Aaron Fox over there, get a couple steals. I love it.
You like his line on threes as well, or you're a little afraid of that one?
I'm afraid of it because Sacramento is number 1 in the league at defending the 3-point shot. So that's why I stayed away from that. Yeah,
got it.
Even though the line is so high that he'll probably have the attempts. But I don't know. That was what I locked on, the revenge. I like the steals in a revenge. We've spoken about that before in those revenge games. That's how you can really get after somebody, even if your shot's not falling.
Okay, what else you got here?
Halliburton, 11.5 assists. It's a big number, but he's done it in 5 of his last 6 games. In that game against Sacramento, when he came back to Sacramento last year, he had 15 against Sacramento. So he's a young guy. I'm sure he's. I don't know whether he's happier or not. Both teams are kind of like, whatever. Sacramento's on the rise this season. I think he's going to be looking to show them the mistake they made in trading him. He did also have 3 steals in that game. So his line on steals is 1.5 tonight. I wouldn't mind maybe even doing, if you could, like a 10 assists and a steal on Halliburton. I think that could be a nice play tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking at what he's done. Yeah. Steals, he's been, he had 1 against the Lakers in the previous game, then 2, 4, 1, 0, 2. Yeah, he probably averages around 2 steals a game. Yeah. So,
and he's going to be looking, but a young guy like that, he's going to be looking to get that ball from Fox tonight for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. What else you got?
That's it. Those 2.
That's it. Nothing on the point side, huh?
No, I know. I just nothing was really popping for me, and I like those 2. But given the high point total, it's probably the way to go. But I don't know. Did you see something?
No, there may be some value on Halliburton's points. I think 19.5, which is kind of his line every game. But we were talking last show or 2 shows ago about how he's a pass first guard.
Yeah.
But I think in this type of game, he's going to be looking for a shot more than normal. So I like over 19.5 points for Halliburton.
Yeah, I like that too. I think. Never mind. No, that's fine.
Okay. All right. Anything else for today?
I think that is everything I got.
All right. Let's see how magical those shades are in delivering some victories here.
If I'm wearing them tomorrow, there was some magic tonight.
All right. And happy birthday, Grant Williams.
Yes. Strain some threes. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.